Federico Chiesa, back in action. Were you surprised?
Well,
I know. Wow, like Pokemon Go. Were you surprised to see him, or surprised to find out that he was taking to the field for the unders?
Yeah, we found out not too long before the team news come out actually, and lo and behold, there he is playing for the 21s. It doesn't happen very often, does it, at Liverpool, where a player's injured so they get some minutes in the legs with the 21s. It feels like it used to happen a lot more regularly, but yeah, he was up there in Kirby in the 4-3 defeat, was it, to Nordersland in the Premier League International Cup, I think it's called. The
prestigious
/
I had no idea it existed until I saw the score.
So he's got like quite a, if you looked on his sort of transfer mark recent history, playing in the Euros and then playing in the Premier League International Cup almost. But yeah, he was back out, took his goal well, didn't he? Afforded a little bit too much room and he made them pay. But yeah, he just needs the minutes, doesn't he? And they've been keen to almost get a pre-season in his legs to help him deal with the intensity, because I think we've spoken about it a few times. I'm sort of getting a bit concerned now with state of play that he's in. We're in early December and his last appearance was late September, his only start. So yeah, maybe it's coming at a good time. Is it too soon for him to play against Girona? Maybe, sadly, but maybe that Southampton game he's sort of circled that and his big comeback. But yeah, good news. Really good news.
It's interesting on him. You're right. The goal is very much a goal in a game of football. There's nothing like, it's not like he dribbles past three and puts it in the top bin. It's functional. He's coming in from the right hand side. Does a little shimmy, frees himself up a yard and puts it past the goalkeeper. It's the kind of thing that you'd expect someone who's much too good for a level to be doing. I liked how subdued the celebrations were. It wasn't like he ran away, wheeling away. Exactly. It is ultimately a game. It was just at the academy as well. So not exactly like a huge one, but. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with him next, because again we've had a bit of an ongoing conversation now for probably a month on this show, certainly the ones that I've done with you, where we've said about the setbacks, and Slot's referred to him a couple of times about how he's come back into training, but he's not doing full days. He's doing like when your kid first goes to nursery, you just come in, get a feel for it,
little taste of the day.
Come in, do a couple of hours, then get picked up by your nan or whatever. They're obviously being careful with him, and I don't get the sense that they're prepared to sort of write him off or whatever at this point, because there's no point, because he's theirs, they own him, he's got a contract. What happens next will be interesting, because listen, if he's played 60 minutes on Wednesday night, if he's then capable of training, say Friday, it's not outside the realms of possibility that a normal player would be in contention for the bench space at the weekend. But is your general feeling, because you actually immediately went straight to Girona there and actually went straight over it to Southampton, they've got an opportunity there to actually maybe give him another couple of under-21s games, or I'm not sure what the fixture list looks like.
No, I'm not actually. I haven't had a chance to look at it, but yeah, I think Everton might come too soon for him. I might be wrong in that, and Slot will obviously update us tomorrow afternoon at 1:15, the press conference. But yeah, I'd certainly be looking at Southampton, because I think players just need a rest, more so than getting Chiesa fit. I think it'd be more beneficial just to give Salah a rest, or I mean, if Salah won't be playing that anyway, but whoever, Luis Diaz, Gakpo, these players.
Well, the idea is he should be able to replace any of them on the front line if needs
so even if he just comes in for that alone, rather than any sort of personal or individual plans that Liverpool have for him, he could just come in just to give them a rest. Which, looking at a few of them last night, I thought Gravenberch looks tired. I think he could really do with sitting out Girona in the Champions League. McAllister, we've spoken about, who's going to get that rest anyway. So yeah, there are a few across the squad who are looking tired at maybe not the wrong time, because the wrong time would have been last week, but certainly having come through last week as well as they did, I think, we're starting to see some tired legs. So I think the opportunity to rest and rotate as much as possible, not on Saturday, but after that, if Liverpool look at it, that Southampton is not a major game. Girona, given the Champions League standings. You know, it's valuable in terms of Champions League money, but it's not an absolute must-win, is it? I think that might afford Liverpool an opportunity to look at it as one important game a week, major game a week, and that could help in terms of giving players rests.
Yeah, it's, we talk about Salah's going absolutely brilliantly, but it's not even the now. Salah always plays brilliantly in the first half of seasons. Yeah. It's what's left of him by the time the business end comes around. And I think the idea with Chiesa is that you've got someone there who can rotate him a bit more, and then you can have a conversation at the end of the season about where Salah's at and where Chiesa's at, and you can decide, is Chiesa ready to play more, or do you need to go out into the market and buy someone else? And at the moment, we've not really got, we haven't got a definitive answer one way or the other, but at the moment it's leaning more towards you're still going to need someone else in that position if Chiesa can't get himself fit. Looking at the games that are coming up, we obviously touched upon Everton as the 12:30 on Saturday, Girona's then Tuesday, it's the earlier kickoff, it's 5:45 UK time, Fulham's the Saturday, and then the EFL Cup quarterfinals the Wednesday on the 18th against Southampton. Now the only under-21s game left, I've just looked this up, this year is Crystal Palace away at 12 o'clock on Monday the 16th of December. So that falls awkwardly, so it might just be a case of they've given him that game because that almost, unless they could always put a behind closed doors game in, I'm sure, if they really wanted to, but you suspect that if he's playing in that game, he's not going to. He wouldn't therefore be involved with either Fulham or Southampton because it falls right between the two of them. So how he responds in training is going to be pivotal, is what I'm kind of driving at.
Yeah, 100%. And we've sort of said that Liverpool have been okay. They haven't really needed them to be 100% fit, have they? But I think they do now in terms of just giving other players a breather. Diogo Jota's been out for nearly 2 months now, so a lot of minutes in the tank for Darwin Núñez, who I thought was particularly poor last night. Luis Diaz obviously comes off the bench yesterday. Didn't think Cody Gakpo had his best game either. Yeah. So yeah, just to allow others the chance to rest up for a day or two, really. I think that's his most important. That's what he's needed for now, really, more than getting 100% fit and flying. And I think maybe after Christmas you can look at it in a different light and maybe try and do that then.
That's foolish to think more of Chiesa, to have dreams of him, because I must admit I made the case in the summer, someone of that age bracket and that ability, and yes, he's had the injuries that may have robbed him of a ceiling that he'd have possessed otherwise. He's still a fantastic footballer. He's got a pedigree. He might well have, you find that if Salah tails off and Chiesa's on the way back up, then he could actually be a replacement for Salah. But it's like something for science fiction writers at this point. It's so far it's so unrealistic because we've just not seen him play enough minutes. So you're right, just setting that bar nice and low. Hopefully we can start to see him on the bench in the near future, start to get more minutes and start to actually make himself a Liverpool player before we start thinking about him being in the same conversation as possibly the greatest player ever to play for the football club. But yeah, fingers crossed on that, because we're going to need more players in the coming weeks.